If this weapon were launched right now, this is what most defense systems would see, a signal they can't quite catch, moving far too fast to understand. The system isn't broken. It isn't malfunctioning. It's simply facing something it was never designed to stop. Because when speed reaches this level, reaction time disappears. And once that happens, the rules change completely. Somewhere above the Earth right now, something is moving faster than anything humans have ever flown. So fast, distance itself starts to lose meaning. This isn't a jet. It doesn't rely on wings or dogfights. It exists in a completely different category of speed. It barely appears on radar. It doesn't follow clean, predictable paths. And by the time it's detected, it's already far ahead of the response. But before this turns into panic, it's important to slow down. Because hypersonic weapons aren't science fiction. They don't break physics. They don't ignore reality. They operate inside the same laws that govern every aircraft ever built. They're machines. And machines only work because of careful engineering, constant testing, and absolute control. Hypersonic means Mach 5 or faster. More than a mile every second. At this point, speed stops being impressive and starts becoming dangerous. At these speeds, air doesn't flow smoothly. It slams into the vehicle, compressing so violently that it begins to change state. Heat builds instantly, hot enough to weaken metal, hot enough to erase small mistakes. This is where most designs fail. But this challenge isn't new. Engineers have been studying extreme heat and speed for generations. Every failure leaves behind data, and every piece of data shapes the next design to survive longer. Modern materials don't just resist heat. They absorb it, redirect it, and manage it with precision. What unsettles people isn't the technology itself. It's where this work happens. Facilities far from cities. No public access. No obvious signs of what's happening inside. Places designed to stay quiet, hidden in plain sight, while reshaping the future. But secrecy doesn't mean disorder. Inside these facilities, everything follows a plan. Every movement is measured. Every process is recorded. Perfection isn't hoped for, it's enforced. This is next-generation manufacturing, where consistency matters more than speed, and precision decides what flies. At hypersonic speed, there's no safety margin. The environment itself is actively trying to destroy the vehicle. One microscopic flaw, one weakness hidden from view. That's all it takes for everything to go wrong. Failure doesn't arrive dramatically. It arrives instantly and completely. That's why nothing is repaired. If a part fails, it's removed permanently. Only components that perform perfectly under extreme conditions are allowed to continue. If it can't survive the worst imaginable environment, it never leaves the ground. At these speeds, humans simply can't keep up. The vehicle moves faster than a person can react. Decisions must be made in milliseconds, which means control can't wait for human input. The system senses, calculates, and acts on its own. And that makes people uneasy. But this isn't uncontrolled intelligence. Every possible situation is tested long before flight. The system learns inside strict boundaries. It doesn't invent new behavior. It follows carefully defined limits. What looks autonomous is actually the result of enormous preparation. The future of warfare won't be loud. It won't announce itself. There will be no warnings, no countdowns, and very little time to react. Inside America's hypersonic factories, that future is already being built, quietly,